What do you see?
Something new.
Something finer.
It's perfect.
Down to the smallest detail.
I see a masterpiece. I see the biggest story of the year.
I see a brilliant new star.
And so do I. Yes, any way you look at it. It's new, finer, perfect. A masterpiece. Yes, the biggest story, the brightest star. The new, the big, the beautiful Pontiac for 1954. Always the leader in value, Pontiac now sets new standards of value for 1954. And as always, Pontiac steps out ahead in its new models to show the world how much automobile can be bought for the money. Star of the line is Pontiac's dramatically new series of big cars. The Star Chiefs, shown here in the custom Catalina. Star Chief is the biggest, the most captivating, the most dynamic automobile yet built by Pontiac. The Star Chief is almost 214 inches in length, 11 inches longer, with new styling, new comfort, new luxury details. Star Chief is powered by Pontiac's famous 8-cylinder engine, excitingly improved for even more horsepower. Pontiac's improved dual-range hydromatic transmission is again optional for all series. And for 1954, power steering has been further refined in smooth operation and steering response. And now, in keeping with its tradition of offering all that a fine car can offer, Pontiac offers the option of power braking, perfected braking that has proved worth waiting for. For 1954, a fitting environment for all this luxury is provided by Pontiac's Comfort Control Seat, completely adjustable to give any person more comfort and more safety at the controls. Electric window lifts can be your choice for 1954's final touch of luxury. Here indeed is the car that says, so everyone can hear, look at Pontiac. Look at Pontiac through the eyes of an automobile engineer to see how it is almost as fine as the finest, almost as low-priced as the lowest. An engineer, beginning with a basic car consisting of the simplest engine, chassis, and body, could chart all the features, all the performance, all the luxuries that could possibly be built into the most expensive cars. Up to a point, as each improvement is added, the cost rises slightly. Beyond this point, each addition begins to cost more and more. Engineers say Pontiac, since its beginning, has been built for maximum value. The chart shows that even cars selling for twice as much as Pontiac offer comparatively little more in size, performance, or luxury. Likewise, though the values offered by other cars may be considerably less, Pontiac costs but little more than the lowest. Look at Pontiac through the eyes of people you meet to get a true appreciation of its distinctive beauty. The styling that belongs only to Pontiac is immediately apparent. Look at Pontiac through the eyes of the people you pass to see how its new three-dimensional treatment of molding and trim accents the impression of tremendous length. Look at Pontiac through the eyes of people who will follow you to see the overall new styling unity of the car. In the deluxe models of Pontiac's famed Chieftain series, the same beauty of design has been incorporated. Pontiac's Chieftain special models differ from the custom and deluxe models in their simplification of detail. Look at Pontiac through the eyes of your friends. You'll get a new appreciation of Pontiac's prestige value, its styling distinction, and its exquisite taste. You'll get an impression of richness unsurpassed in the most expensive cars. Every detail is in keeping with the finest traditions of craftsmanship and artistry. Add them all together, and you'll see that Pontiac is even more beautiful than the sum total of its parts. You know Pontiac is beautiful, but look at Pontiac through the eyes of a homemaker to see how it gives you comfort value equal to the finest. Here is vibrationless quiet, the controlled temperature and ventilation of modern air-conditioned living. Here is living room comfort on wheels, the soft padded contours of lavishly upholstered furniture. Here is the comfort of home. The extra long wheelbase, combined with new spring design, gives you the riding comfort that only a big car can provide. You know that Pontiac is beautiful and comfortable. To appreciate its superlative safety features, look at Pontiac through the eyes of a real motor safety expert. He knows that Pontiac is the car that offers a full measure of safety. Pontiac's instant response to the accelerator gives you command of the situation, keeps you out of trouble when passing. With full vision windshield, you can see where you're going, and with panoramic rear window, you can see what's behind you. Yet with Pontiac's body by Fisher, welded unisteel construction, you and your family are enclosed in a one-piece steel shell of safety. Here, with low center of gravity and improved springing, is maximum stability for any driving condition. Here is smooth, easy, positive steering on curves or straightaways and on roads rough or smooth. Braking is smooth, dependable. Yes, Pontiac is beautiful, comfortable, and safe. And to understand Pontiac's durability, look at the car that is built to last through the eyes of a man who's been driving the same Pontiac for 20 years. Today, 1 out of every 14 Pontiacs built in 1934 is still in everyday use. Proof of Pontiac's lasting value. Look through the eyes of your Pontiac service mechanic. He knows that Pontiac has been engineered and manufactured to give lasting satisfaction. Through the eyes of your service station operator, you can learn more about its economy of operation. Pontiac's high compression engine is the most highly perfected power plant in the automotive industry. Easy to maintain, economical on gas and oil. Pontiac's traditional economy is a matter of dollars and cents. Look at it through the eyes of your banker. He will compare Pontiac's lower purchase cost and higher trade-in value and tell you that in 1954, with so many new features found only on a few more expensive cars, there is no better investment for your automobile dollar. Dollar for dollar, you can't beat a Pontiac. You know that Pontiac is beautiful, comfortable, and safe. You know that Pontiac is built to last and to give you the most for your money in terms of economy. But what about performance for 1954? How would you like to look at performance through the eyes of a jet test pilot? Listen.
Scott to field control, altitude 35,000, speed 650, tailpipe temperature 895, RPM 100%. I am pushing over into a dive. Response to controls excellent. Over.
Well, there's a first-hand report on how it feels to fly one of Uncle Sam's new jet aircraft. The test pilot is a flying engineer with every sense delicately tuned to the response and performance of precision machinery. Look at Pontiac performance through his eyes. At the world-famed General Motors Proving Ground, he will put Pontiac through its flashing paces under the most rigorous scientific conditions. As a test pilot who knows the value of advanced planning, He'll check the facilities before he begins. The speed loop and straightaways where top speeds, acceleration, and deceleration are tested. The Belgian block road, gravel and sand roads, and hills of every degree of steepness. He knows that just as his airplane is ground tested before he is asked to fly it, so too has Pontiac undergone endless hours of torture tests before it is released to the public. A man whose life depends on fine engine performance recognizes the outstanding leadership of Pontiac's high-compression 8-cylinder engine with the new top performance of 127 horsepower. Because this added power has been accomplished by improvements in carburetor and manifold design with improved ignition, Pontiac has maintained its outstanding economy. He appreciates the effortless ease of dual-range hydromatic pioneered by Pontiac. He knows its tremendous advantages in outstanding fuel economy, longer engine life, better engine braking, smoother driving, and quieter operation. Pontiac's power steering has proved itself in hundreds of thousands of miles of effort-saving driving. Improved for 1954, it is offered as an optional feature. With this special effort measuring wheel, our test pilot first checks the amount of effort to turn the wheels when the engine is stopped. The scale reads 18 pounds. Then, starting the engine with Pontiac's easy key start switch, he rechecks the effort needed to turn the wheels with the car stationary. Now the scale shows only about 6 pounds, 1/3 the effort every time you turn the wheel. Of course, you don't have to be a test pilot to appreciate velvety smooth, yet steel trap positive braking action. The brakes are easier to reach, easier to operate, reducing fatigue and shortening the time needed to apply the brakes and stop. Just as jet aircraft have adjustable seats to give the pilot full mastery of his flight controls, so Pontiac's comfort control seat lets you take full advantage of wide vision, dual range hydromatic, power steering, and power braking. The seat can be moved from front to rear, can be raised or lowered or tilted to give a total of 360 different possible positions for added comfort, better vision, and reduced driving fatigue. And now, for an expert's view on Pontiac's dynamic new performance for 1954. Everything ready? Here we go.
Scott to operations. Testing. How do you read me?
Loud and clear. Proceed with acceleration test.
Using traffic range on dual hydromatic. Begin countdown for start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First flag, second flag, third flag, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Acceleration excellent. What was your timing?
We timed you at 1-7.
Roger. I'll swing around and come back the other way for the next run.
The performance of Pontiac's 8-cylinder engine with dual-range hydromatic is a combination that amazes even a pilot accustomed to jet-assisted takeoffs, the kind of acceleration that helps you get through tangled traffic with ease.
I will maintain speed with my foot on the accelerator until I hear the gun. To avoid sliding the tires, I will not, repeat, not apply maximum pedal force. No tendency to swerve noted, no jerking or swaying. All right, boys, check that. According to my estimate, the power brake reduces pedal pressure by about 50%.
Yes, Pontiac's power brakes do over half the work, leaving just enough so that the driver has a desirable amount of brake pedal feel.
Scott to operations. Steering wheel effort reduced to about 2 foot-pounds. According to my estimate, this is about 1/3 normal steering effort. No wheel fight or road shock at all. car handles very responsively. Unusually good stability on straightaways and curves. 40 miles an hour. You know, this road feels like a flat-top stick. Weight, extra long wheelbase, 60-inch springs. The combination feels just about right. Now let's see how she climbs. Entering the 11.6% grade at 15 miles an hour. Foot off the gas, speed 10 miles an hour. Now I'll give her some power. Speed 12 miles. Speed 18. 24. 27. 32. And over the top at 40. Scott to operations. On the inside track of the speed loop now. Hydromatic lever in traffic range. My speed is 30 miles per hour. Shifting over to the next lane. My speed is 35 miles, accelerating rapidly. Now shifting over to the next speed lane. At 45 miles an hour in traffic range. Engine is running very smoothly at about 2,500 RPM. I need a little extra power for passing, so I've just pushed the gas pedal to the floorboard for an automatic shift down. Response is terrific. Car speed 60 miles an hour. Engine speed approximately 3,300 RPM. Now I'm going to shift into cruising range. Car speed remains the same, but engine speed drops 30% and is now barely over 2,200 RPM. The engine is just loafing along smooth as silk. Now I'm on the top of the track. All instrument readings on the nose. All control response excellent. Scott to operations, test procedure completed. I'm coming in for a landing. But don't get me wrong, I could keep this up all day.
Yes, Pontiac's new performance will thrill expert drivers, good drivers, and ordinary drivers everywhere. For 1954, the eyes of all the world can look to Pontiac to set ever and ever higher standards of motoring value with 15 body styles, each filling its own individual place in the spectacular panorama of the finest motor cars to fit the most discriminating requirements. And for 1954, a display of more beautiful colors, warm reds, rich browns and tans, gay yellows and creams, shimmering greens, cool blues, restful grays, winter white, black that gleams with its own highlight. Look at Pontiac through what are to you the most important eyes in all the world, your own and your family's. Look at it from the standpoint of ownership, with a full understanding of its many features, its solid values. Look at Pontiac for 1954, for the wonderful big car values it gives you for so little. A masterpiece of distinction and prestige of which you can be so justly proud. Look at Pontiac to know all the joy, all the lasting satisfaction that only Pontiac can give you.